When we enter the field, or when people enter the field with our type of knowledge priorities, as Indigenous people, as Native people, as Hawaiians, we have a different thing going on. And that's not a bragging thing, that's a necessary thing to articulate. Because when you observe a certain thing, we know that how you observe it is actually who you are. And we know as Hawaiians that we are not the only generation here. Who I am is actually a representation of thousands of generations before me. So what I consider science are things like ike moe, the images and ideas that I get from my dreams, ike papalua, the idea of second sight or intuition. We actually weave those ideas into the practical, empirical understanding of our planet. That's how we're different. We have like a radical empirical understanding of the world, William James called it. And that is, we understand that the world is richer, more dimensioned, and operating on many different planes than this one. And you know, and perhaps you've experienced it in your dreams, perhaps you've experienced it in a deja vu. There are many ways to express this idea and this rigor of where science is going. It's found in the post-quantum physics realm. Check it out, that's an exciting realm. And as an ex-PE teacher, I find that realm exciting to understand because it's approaching our concepts of ea, of iini, of our internal ideas of what animates us. And that's energy. The type of energy that's atomistic, that's quantum, we can't see it, but actually it's completely tangible. So go into a place that's interesting for you because there, your kupuna are waiting. And they're saying, what took you so long?
All you young ones now, you folks be obedient to your teachers, to your parents, that way you can learn, okay? And what we try and teach now is how to survive.
The thing that we really appreciate is the way that we were raised and to eat the things from the land.
It taught us to eat lots of things here that it's good for you. You know, like the whole EO. Now we had the taro leaves, we had the taro stem, we also had the taro itself, and plus that, we also could plant other things like banana. We even made garden on that end over there, and we planted sweet potato, daikon, cabbage, and later on when we had some pineapple, then we planted some pineapple over there too.
And that's how we fed our family.
The Hawaiian style way back is to go to the beach and take only what you need. Not to take all what you can and no more for tomorrow.
Go out there and learn from the mother herself. Yeah? Learn from Kane, from Lono, from Kanaloa, from Laka, Hi'iaka. Learn from these functions around us that work totally for our benefit. As long as we work to preserve what they're going to give us in return. Cause, effect. Today we call it the balance of ecology. Scientists call it many, many different fancy Latin things. But all it was to the Hawaiian was just malama. Malama the land. Malama the wai. Malama the ocean. The whole concept of malama, scientists should just take everything that they theorize and just bring it down to one word. Malama.
So even though you don't think you can do it, just follow what you believe is your iini, what's your drive, because your kupuna, many generations before you, have been healers, have been astronomers, have been mathematicians, have been chanters of genealogies that would take us 2 days to chant, thousands of volumes of books. It's time to return to knowledge that's driven by observation and experience. Makahanaka ike. Experience, experience, experience. Get yourself on the land so that you can experience something. And it's only through experience that we really know something. Makahana kaike. It is only through experience that knowledge is gained. So get some experience, okay?
Pa. Aloha e nana kulika moku o wayanai. O mahana ia e kala. O kena I ka makani o kaya ulu. O hanai make kai. E o mai e. Because a lot of this one is going to the kamali'i. You could actually rub this down into shape. It's not too wide, not too narrow, but just right. So right now, I guess we're working just to get it round and a flat surface at first. It'll eventually you can like smooth them out. So you get like on sandstone and smooth them out. This one, you don't like them too narrow, but that might work. Because it's going for the kamali'i, that actually might work. But what you want to do is test it out before you leave and check them for flakes.
This hooks here is used to catch opelo, and if you make it a little bigger, it's used to catch a coolie fishing. Okay. The old Hawaiians in the olden days, they went and used these hooks to either hook the fish or they use the net, use the opena. Since some of you brought your hooks with you, I want you to show what you made. Make a loop, make a loop, make a loop like that over the hook.
A practitioner is called a kahuna. These are the type of practitioners we had in ancient Hawaii before the Tahitians came, before the Ali'is came. The Ali'is came somewhere around 900 AD. Okay? Prior to 900 AD, you had a society that focused on the people.
So that's another method of planting kalo. And then the other method here is we're just doing it right in the earth like this, in nanakuli. And we're preparing the lepo, and we're going to be showing you how we're going to be planting just by making the furrow irrigation, let the water run, yeah. Okay, and you see Auntie over here, she's putting her ha into the kalo. The ha is your breath of life. It's your commitment to the kalo that you're going to help malama the kalo.
Ma'alama pono ika aina means that we care righteously for the land, but it's by learning about it. And so the idea of the programs that we're trying to work on and working with the teachers and the students at Lanai High and Elementary is to integrate our place-based knowledge, the knowledge of place, the attachment to place, so that you know that we have these incredible resources, things to be proud of on Lanai. And if our students learn the natural histories, the resources, the cultural events of Lanai, and how they relate to the broader world view, you know, first they'll be good stewards of home, and that's what we need. We need our own opio, our children, irregardless of their background, what they are, whether they came from, you know, the Philippines or Japan or the Americas, or if we're on this island, Lanai, we believe that we have a responsibility to take care of it. And the way you take care is by learning about it. And again, integrating our history into the school curriculum so that it means something to them, to the students, yeah?
For purposes of history on early settlers, I believe that the sharing must be brought down to, because you don't know, we don't know the world, we cannot predict. We might go back again to things like that. But the whole thing is, at least they know where we came from.
And then, other than that, this was part of one big village complex called Kaunulu, you know, which starts from up Mauka and comes all the way down. Thank God the plantation didn't come way down here because they wasn't able to, so that's why all this area was spared, yeah. Around the whole island is pretty much like this, yeah. Aside from Oahu, where we come from. Everything, you gotta go to the museum to look. And then other than that, just this plant I was telling you guys about, which is the uhaloa. And then everything below the ground is what you use, yeah. You take the bark, you pound it, take them off the wood, and then you boil them, and then put them in the ice box, and you get your iced tea, and then you drink that, you know. But it's stuff that can be used, yeah, today, instead of going to Long's Drugs. And then when we get sore throat, we go buy about cough medicine. You can use this kind of stuff, yeah. So some of this stuff is still applicable today, yeah.
Much of our work today, especially with the public schools, say, is cultural, basically. They have Hawaiian culture credits, and they're able to satisfy a lot of their science stuff in the classroom. So they come here to get exposure to the culture through hands-on activities like working in the lo'i or making poi or both. So this kind of pond was normally in a coastal wetland area, and it was separated from the ocean by a pu'one, by a hill of sand. So where's the ocean from here? That way. Where do you think the hill of sand is? We're standing on it. This is the pu'one here, and this is the loko. So the upper part of the valley and all the water that seeps out and goes under the ground. Yesterday we were talking about the rain and how it falls and goes into the ground. So some of it goes into the ground and just moves underneath the ground, and then it pops up down here, down by the coast. And in the old days, before they had this highway, there was more little streams coming in here. And so this area is a coastal wetland. And what it does is the water percolates under the ground, the water used to flow over the surface, and the function of this area in the ahupua'a was to catch the water and clean it out before it got out into the ocean and onto the reef.
Uhola ia ka makaloala, pua e ike aloha. Kuka ia ka aloala, pawe mai na lehua. Mai ko oku ia ka halawaila, mahalo e na kua. Mahalo e na kupuna laia. Mahalo me ke aloha la, mahalo me ke aloha, mahalo.
That whole south side is continually moving away from us at about the rate your fingernail grows, 6 to 8 centimeters per year. And that, we think, is due to the rift zones being injected with magma constantly. It's pushing that side out. Of course, that turns out that this is the area where most of our damaging earthquakes occur too. That same area that's slipping, obviously, apparently can slip very rapidly, creating an earthquake. And because it's a coastal area, any of those large earthquakes can generate a large tsunami, which it did in 1975 and 1868.
Right next to us over there is the United Kingdom Infrared Telescope. down there in the valley, that little silver thing that looks like a big silver ball, that's the Caltech submillimeter observatory. It's like a pocket telescope. Then next to it, you see these bunch of little toadstools sitting up there. Well, those toadstools are 6 meters in diameter also, so they're in diameter about as large as I am tall. Then up here, you look at this telescope here is the Canada, France, Hawaii telescope. It's a partnership of those 3 countries and run by those 3 countries. And then, of course, the one that you folks visited, the Gemini telescope.
So the exposure that you're getting with all these field trips is key. That's the tip of the iceberg. Ask the people at the site what is interesting about their work. Pay attention with what you see, because knowledge that's gained by our eyes is, you're interested. You're looking around, you're watchful. Our word for knowledge as Hawaiians is ike, which is to see. So see things differently when you go out into these field trips. And be open, be exploratory, be curious, and explore your potential kuleana. I have a sense that you will know what it is. And you might already know what it is, but because of peer pressure or because of interest, I don't know, you might not be able to articulate it, to talk about it. But you're old enough now, you're 11th and 12th graders. You have the capacity to say something and to then express what perhaps is your kuleana. So good luck with that. And that to me is how we enter difficult fields. We can only do this through our own joy and our own passion, don't you think?